In this video, I'm going to be giving some tips for complete noobs in Rise of Nations. If you're new and trying to get into the game, this video is definitely for you. If you're not new, stick around, you might learn something too. First things first, every country starts with $100 million in the treasury. Ignore the fact I have 200 million. With those 100 million, build one electronics factory, one motor factory and one steel factory. Make some troops too if you think you will need more troops. Buy the necessary resources for them. Here's the shopping list: 2 copper, 2 gold, 4 iron, 1 titanium, and 2 tungsten. With these you can make 16 units of electronics which we will sell, 2 units of steel and 6 motors which we will use to make tanks. Now justify on 2 countries and just wait. Once the factories are built and the justifications are finished, sell your electronics and declare war. Take your troops and move them to the border of the countries you justified on. Split your troops by turning auto merge off, shift-clicking a few times then forming a line. Now, I'm going to show you a trick called AI luring, which works well against AI countries. You see, when troops stand still, they get entrenched and get a defense bonus. Here it isn't much of a problem, since we have 110,000 troops and they have 20,000. Jungles give 1.5 times bonuses, so 20,000 times 1.5 is 30,000, which we can beat. However, if we quickly hop over to Argentina, you can see Chile will be a problem. We have 150,000 troops and they have 70,000. However, they're entrenched in mountains which give 4 times bonuses, so they can theoretically kill 280,000 troops. What we can do something to AI countries though, which is called AI luring. Basically, instead of charging headfirst into enemy troops, take a city without troops that's less than 1,000 kilometers away from the troops. Then wait until the enemy troops get to your entrenched troops and destroy them. All you have to do now is auto-capture. You can also set the minimum health troops have to be at to auto-capture. If troops fall below the minimum, they won't move until they heal. An important thing you should do is developing cities. Every city gives you more manpower and tax money every time it is developed. You can see our tax is 1.7 million. After developing it turned into 2.6 million. Very overpowered. Develop cities when you have almost double the cash needed to develop. I forgot to show it in the video, but if you're running out of cash, take a small country for around 100 million free money. Now we're going to build tanks, which are better than infantry in most cases. They're faster on flat and arid land, and deal more damage and take less damage than infantry. They're expensive to make and train though. To make a tank you need a square city, which are cities with over 1 million population. We're going to need 0.25 steel and 1 motor for each tank. Apart from that we need 1 unit of oil every 5 days, so make sure you have enough oil. If you have everything, making them is like making regular infantry. Now I'm going to show you the spendings tab. Basically, you can increase spending for certain boosts. For example, you can increase military spending to increase military readiness, which give extra attack and defense bonuses to troops. I'm going to hover over them so you can see which types give what boosts. I recommend decreasing military spending in peace times and putting the money on other things like government spending. If you know you're going to be in a war with a player, I suggest you increase military spending and decrease other types like research spending. I generally set this up in my spendings tab and move from there, adjusting depending on how much the economy can take, or the current situation around me. Something that should also not be underestimated is the technology tab. You can spend research points to give you whatever boosts you want, such as troops buffs, economic buffs, political buffs, and even research buffs that help you get more research points and eventually even nukes too. Another thing is training your troops. The more troops train, the more XP they get. The more XP they get, the more damage they deal. You can also train troops for particular environments. Although the troops' XP doesn't go up when you train them like this, they deal more damage and move faster in the terrain they got trained for. To train for particular terrain, just right-click on this button. In my case, I will train for jungles. Now I'm going to show you how to attack a country. AI luring is great for attacking an AI country, but it will never work against a real player, unless they're somehow worse than the AI. Listen carefully, you're going to have to do this quickly, or else the enemy will know what's up and set up accordingly. Do a line on the border using ground troops. Make artillery, which are ranged weapons and can deal damage to enemy troops without taking damage. Set the artillery up behind your ground troops, and if the border is too big to fully cover with artillery, put them where you're going to spearhead the assault. After you declare war, select the troops where you have your artillery behind, press View Movement Settings, turn on Hold Formation and equalize movement speed, and move the troops just enough so that your artillery can hit the enemy troops. This will put your enemy in a difficult situation. They either move out of range of the artillery or try to rush at you. If they move, slowly move with them and take cities on your way. If they rush you, hold your ground and you will probably win if you trained your troops and entrenched them. As you can see, we broke the line. Now we just need to get a few extra troops to encircle and destroy the enemy army. Defending is quite easy. Train your troops for the terrain they're in. Entrench them in a city, build a fort on that city, then just put artillery and anti-air behind them. That way, you can defeat ridiculous numbers of troops like this. $1,600 losses against 417,000. Not bad. If you think a neighbor is being aggressive, just do this for the cities on your border and you'll give them a hard time. $20,000 losses against 341,000. As you can see, it's very overpowered. This method combined with mountains can delete anything. Well, that brings us to the end. There's more to the game than this. I didn't even talk about the Navy, which is a must-have for decimating troops at coasts or escorting them through the ocean. There's also the Air Force, which when utilized well can bring the best economies and industries to their knees. Other advanced tactics, such as military generals, leaders, doctrines and strategic scorching can all be used to destroy an enemy. Practice definitely doesn't hurt. South Africa is a good starting country you can use to experiment with. You can also join a private server, or if you can hop into a tutorial server and experiment there if you don't want to spend 50 Robux. For more tips, consider joining the Discord. I'll see you next time.